Hello boys, we're going to take another look at multiplication and division. This should be our last video for this. Remember, multiplication and division work together, just like addition and subtraction. Now, sometimes when we have when I've been showing you groups, I've been showing you them already connected into an array. This is a little different, but if you look carefully, I think you can see that there are rows and there are columns. And so we could look at this and we can write a multiplication problem for this picture. And we need to look at how many rows and then how many groups. How many groups and how many are in the group, okay? So let's look this way first. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows or 4 groups, and there's 1, 2, 3 in each group. So we could write 4 times 3, 4 groups of 3. Now we can also say 3 groups of 4 if we look this way. We could do our groups this way. And now we have 1, 2, 3 groups, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 in each group. So we could say 3 groups of 4. The product is 12. So the product is, oops, there goes my pencil. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12. So remember, we can say 4 groups of 3 equals 12, or 3 groups of 4 equals 12. And our fact family is a 4, a 3, and a 12. And those 3 numbers will work together. Our product here is the biggest number. It would have to be because it's our answer, okay? Now, for division, we're going to start with our product. So I'm going to write 2 division problems to go with our fact family. So we're going to start with 12 on these. I'm going to put the other 12 here. 12 divided by. So we have to use all 3 of these numbers. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. And then we can move them around and then we can say 12 divided by 4 equals 3. 12 divided by 4 equals 3. And remember, divided by means that we're going to split something up equally. So if we have 12 cookies, we know there's 12 here, and let's pretend they're cookies. And let's say there's 3 kids. So there's Liam, Sam, and Hyatt. And I want to give you equal amounts of cookies, right? I don't want somebody to have 1 and somebody else to have the rest. So you'll get 4, you'll get 4, and you'll get 4. So we divided the 12 cookies equally. So 12 divided by 3 equals 4. Now remember our fact families. Think about the fact families for a minute. And I'm going to see if I can trick you. So here is a fact family. There's a 6, a 3, and a 2. 2 of these are correct, and 1 of them is wrong. So remember, when you're multiplying, your product, oops, I made a mistake. Just a second. Sorry about that. 2 of them are correct, and 2 of them are incorrect. Remember, when we are multiplying, our product is going to be the biggest number. So let's look and see. These 2 have the biggest number. But let's go back and make sure that all 3 of the numbers are here. 2 times 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. The next one says 3 times 2. But we can just turn them around, remember? So 3 times 2 equals 6. Now, could this be a multiplication problem for this fact family? 3 times 6 equals 2? No, it can't, because the product for multiplication has to be the biggest number. And 6 times 3 equals 2? No, it can't, because the product, again, would have to be the biggest of the 3. Now, 6, 3, and 2. Let me write our fact family up here. 6, 3, and 2. Now, for division, you actually would need to start with the biggest number. So let's look at these 3 and see which 2 would be correct. Take a look at that for a second. We have to start with the biggest number, 6 divided by something. We have to have a 3 and a 2. So we have a 2, 6, and 3. Well, that's right, we have a 2, 6, and 3. But did we start with the biggest number? No. So this cannot be correct. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Yes, the 6 is the biggest. And 6 divided by 3 equals 2. 6, 3, 2. Yes, and 6 is the biggest. So these 2 are correct. I have one more very quick thing to show you, and I want you to be able to show this to your parents also, so that when it comes time to help with homework, that they'll know how to do this. So this is a copy of the multiplication chart that you've been using. And I'm just going to write down one quick problem, and then I want you to be able to show your parents how you do this. So let's say we have the problem 5 times 3. 5 groups of 3, or 5 times 3. Now, you could do this with your fingers, but we'll talk about that later, because you know how to count by 5s. I know you know how to count by 5s. And if you put 3 fingers up and you count by 5, and you say 5, 10, 15, well, there's your answer. 5 times 3 is 15. But sometimes we will need to use something like this or a calculator just to make it a little easier for you. So you take your first number 5 and you find it, 5, and you're multiplying it by 3. 5 times 3, so you need to find 3. And then you're going to stay in the column or the row, and you're going to come together until you meet at 15. So 5 times 3 equals 15. And 3 times 5, what would that equal? What would 3 times 5 be? Remember, we can just turn our facts around. It's really the same problem, 15. And our product is the biggest. So now for division, we start with the biggest. And we say 15 divided by 3 equals what? 5. And then 15 divided by, we can use our other number, 5, whoops, equals, sorry about that, 15 divided by 5 equals 3. The fact family is 5, 3, and 15. Okay, that is it for today. Our next series of videos is going to be covering regrouping and place value and more addition and subtraction. So this is it for multiplication. Feel free to review any of the other videos. Watch this one about 5 or 6 times, and we'll be doing some multiplication in class.